Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos, and welcome to the Carlos X360 channel. How you doing? All right. So today we're gonna talk about SBMM because starting with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 all the way to now, which is Modern Warfare 3, we have a lot of SBMM problems. Yeah, problems. Let's put it that way, problems. So, Modern Warfare 2019, it had a small sliver of SBMM, and this is not even disputed. This I'm gonna pull a excerpt from Infinity Ward's mouth. Infinity Ward's mouth. There we go. I think I got that correctly. So let's get to it. Okay. So here we go. And we're gonna go ahead and play it. And then we're gonna
talk about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare network model, otherwise known as the netcode. In simple terms, Modern Warfare and other client-server model games are composed of a set of clients all interacting with a remote server. Each client is a player interacting with the game and sending their inputs up to the server. At the same time, the server is gathering all the players' inputs and processing them before sending the results back to each client.
Right, so in this model, the server is authoritative, meaning that whatever the server says goes. The server sends state down to all the clients, and their job is really just to visualize it. All the clients sample input from the keyboard and controller, and they predictively move themselves, but the server is the one who executes that authoritatively and sends the results back to all of the clients. And so both the server and the client process this same input to move the player around in the world.
So there's a server, it's getting all this input, there's clients moving around, all sending their input to the server. In an ideal
8
world,
minutes.
that just
I'll let
works.
it
All the
run.
clients send their
Okay,
input,
so
the server gets that input, processes it, and sends that back to the clients. So let's talk about what happens when there's a bad connection or a lag spike or something like that. What can go wrong in this model?
There's a couple of things that would constitute a quote-unquote bad connection, but we're primarily concerned with variance. That is, we didn't get some data when we thought we would get it.
The first thing that comes to my mind is that the client doesn't get some information from the server. What happens in that case?
The data coming from the server is the state of the world. So when you miss a beat, you don't really know what to draw anymore. So in this case, the world just stops moving because the client doesn't really know what to do next. Or we end up extrapolating and we might get it wrong, and then the world kind of snaps around. So there's a number of reasons this can happen. Typically, there's a problem where packets coming from the server are constrained in some way. A lot of times there's noise or some other source of interference on a wireless signal like your home Wi-Fi. But you can also have ISPs shaping packets. You can have a CPU spike on the server or even on the client. Your router can start buffering packets. There's a lot of variables in how long it takes a packet to get from point A over to point B. The server as well is it's just going to keep ticking, right? It's not beholden.
let's pause for a second. In my opinion, that sounds like a whole bunch of excuses. Because first of all that problem can be solved easily by something called, I don't know, dedicated servers. Yeah, Activision, you didn't think of that? Dedicated servers. Stuff that we've been asking for a very, very, very long time. Yeah. That would eliminate all of that issues. But what they're saying is, okay, they're controlling your connections to predict what you're going to do right next. Okay? So let's say I shoot and it's going to shoot. But it doesn't know where it's going to shoot. So this direction right here can go this way. Okay? So in other words, if you do it this way, it's going to go this way. So it's controlling you in the background. Okay? This is Infinity Ward saying this. This is Infinity Ward showing you what the hell is going on? This is the first version of the SBMM system that we have right now. Okay? Also, this is also EOMM. Okay? So they are interchangeable. So when I say SBMM, I mean that too. Okay? It's not just one. Both. Okay? Because they work with each other. It's getting more advanced every year. A new Call of Duty game comes out. Right now, it is at the worst it's been in about 5 years. Okay? There's Call of Duty games in between Modern Warfare and then Modern Warfare 2, the current Modern Warfare 2, let's say Cold War, Vanguard. Those games are also affected. So that's why people don't like the game. So, whatever. So, let's keep going.
To any of the clients. Other people are playing the game too, and they need that server state, otherwise they won't be able to draw the world.
Excuse it!
So all games that work in a client-server model have to handle this problem. If we didn't, the client would hitch around, and it would be so frequent that the game would be just unplayable. And the solution here is really you have to buffer data, right? So we push the client as close as we can to the latest data from the server that the client has. We do some signal analysis on the rate of packet delivery, and based on that rate, we decide how close we can get without running out of data from the server. And then we throttle up or down.
When I look at that, when I see the game that does that, my assumption is that player lag switching? Because I don't know if you guys realize this, but I've been playing Call of Duty for about 20 years now. I started in 2003. Okay? Well, I played like Call of Duty 2 and 3 at E3 2 years in a row. Yeah, I went to E3. Yeah, I did. At the peak of the whole convention. Rest in peace, E3. Yeah. So, anyway, back to my point. I've been playing Call of Duty for a long time. I've seen everything from lag switching, server problems, connection problems, host migration, hacking, cheat codes. Yeah, cheat codes. Like players flying in the air like a Superman or something. I've seen that. I've seen glitches. I've seen mods where players had like snipers with thermal. And that's before Modern Warfare 2. That is way before Modern Warfare 2. 2019. 2009. I'm getting the years confused. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, in 2009, we saw everything. Okay? So I'm experienced at understanding what this is and what this is not. This is an algorithm. Okay? They're controlling your game. Okay? But I'm gonna keep going. Yep.
To reach that closest point with the client. From the telemetry we gathered during our beta, we can tell this was actually very successful. We were riding right up to the edge of where we needed to be without really frequently overstepping that bound. We will, of course, continue to measure and continue to iterate on that, but we're pretty happy with the results that we've had so far.
So it sounds to me like the client self-regulates based on what the server is giving it. So let's talk about the other side. What happens when the server is not getting enough data from a client?
Different games do different things with this.
Excuse
In
me
the past,
again.
like 5 or 6 years ago, we just did nothing, which is totally an option. It's just not a very good option, right? So what happens here is that the server just doesn't have any data for the client. So the solution is to just not move him. Then you get a dump of data from the client, and you just slam him to the new position of processing all of those packets. And this is pretty awful, right? The client ends up jumping around.
Right, so obviously we can't do that. Players would just be teleporting around everywhere, and you can't really play like that.
So there are other ways that we do deal with this now. One of the options that we use is we just fake it. So you can extrapolate. This is where we grab the last input that we did receive from the client, and we just sort of just assume that the client's still doing the same thing. Then when you finally do get data from the client, you unwind that extrapolation. You go back and you fill it in with what the client actually did. The problem here is that sometimes you get it wrong. And you can see that when there's a sudden change of direction or acceleration in this video, right? Where
Easily solved by dedicated servers. And I'll tell you why. Because the dedicated server can hold people. Okay? When you put players into that lobby, in that room, you can just as easily hold the person in that room. Dedicated servers are able to handle the muscle of that computer power. Okay? So that computer can tell the other client, which is your console, PlayStation 5, for example, it tells your console, okay, hey, this is what's going on. Please predict this next. And then we wouldn't have all these issues. The thing that Activision is trying to do is cut cost. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Because before this system, okay, we have PvP, player to player endpoint communication. That's PlayStation 3, for example. So your console, PlayStation 5, communicates with PlayStation 4 like a different client. So you're talking to another computer. That was the way it worked in the past. But that resulted in like server errors and timeouts, host migrations. This idea progressed over the years, and at some point, everything was based around connections. I think I remember that correctly, especially from Modern Warfare 3 of 2011 and forward. We had to rely on the connection of the player to determine if he's cheating or not. But for the most part, when we did that, you know, if we got like skipping, it's either because of the server or because of the player. But in that case, we had to determine how far is the skipping. Is it a little bit? Then it's a server issue. If it's too much, like skipping on over and over and over again, especially if it's a lag switch. A lag switch is more obvious than the actual server communication issue. Okay? So in that system, we didn't have to like complain about cheaters that much. There's cheaters, there's hackers, But what we were doing is determining if that's a cheater or if that's the client issue, that server issue. Okay? So if it's a server's issue, then we complain at Activision for that. And we go like, Activision, you guys suck at hosting all these servers. Normally, I would complain at Activision for that because I wouldn't complain at Activision for that because it costs close to $100 million just to have those servers. Okay? A lot of people don't understand that when you're playing a video game or you're viewing a website like this is YouTube, okay? When you host a website, you're paying for that server, okay? When Activision releases a game, they're paying for the server to run consistently. Okay? So that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. However, we're just going to continue from here and finish the whole video so that way we can get the conversations going. Okay? I have another video to talk about and we'll get to that. Just give me a few minutes here. So,
he suddenly changes direction, and then there's this small pop because the extrapolation had put them in the wrong spot, and when we ran the real data, he was somewhere else. Right. So if you don't want that kind of snapping, you can also pretend the input was the real input. And we call this sort of like a prediction, right? You're predicting what the client would have actually sent you by just saying, well, the last thing you sent me is now the real thing that you sent me.
That is part of the EOMM system.
Here. And
that is part of
SBMM. You can just make this happen, right? You can put the client there, and everyone will just see it.
Regulate what you're doing and what you're about to do.
Cause mispredictions for that one client who's having network issues, and so too much of this, and that game becomes unplayable by that client now. Mm-hmm. Finally, to sort of solve all of that, you can buffer data, right? Which produces nice, smooth movement because you're actually executing real data. But if you don't do anything at the start, right? If you starve for data for some period of time and you didn't have anything in the buffer, you're still going to get that hitching until you get enough data from the client to compensate for that, and you fill your buffer up, and then you start pulling from the buffer when you get that starvation. The other problem with buffering is that it induces latency, right? Like you end up with just packets hanging out in the buffer for some period of time. And this is when we talk about like full system latency. This is part of that equation, and it ends up being quite a large part of that equation if you get it wrong.
So we've written this engine to support all the options. In the live environment, we mix and match according to the network conditions so that we optimize for low latency. At the same time, we control for players where network conditions suck so they don't ruin the match for everybody else. So let's talk about how this technology applies to a classic situation like when I get killed while I'm running for cover.
Right. So if you're in the open, maybe casually reloading your SMG or whatever, minding your own business, and then you see the sniper glint, right? And you decide, I'm going to run for cover. This is a long road to travel, both for you now and your packet, right? Your position in the open goes to the server, right? That packet goes up to the server, and the server puts you in the resulting position, which is out in the open. And then that packet goes down to the other client who sees you out in the open, and he pulls his trigger, and this is going to be the kill shot. That packet then goes back up to the server, where the server executes that action authoritatively and sends the result back to you. So the longer the total latency in the system, the further behind that rock you're going to get. Extrapolation actually helps us to beat latency, right? Like if we guess right, we're actually beating the round trip time of that packet by inferring where you're going to be before you've actually told us where you're going to be. We'd like to favor extrapolation and prediction to reduce.
So, right there, that word, infer, okay? So, you're shooting a weapon, right? Where is it gonna go? Where is it gonna land? Where is it going to be predicted at? Where am I going to be predicted to go if I'm strafing? If I'm moving? If I'm lane prone? So, infer that packet burst to the server. But that packet is gonna get lost if the server doesn't understand that. So the SBMM system thinks that you're shooting, but you're not shooting sometimes. Okay? That's an algorithm. Okay? It's predicting what you're doing and then doing something else. I'll explain that part later, so you'll see what I mean. Okay? So, yeah.
See, but only to a point where we have to fall back on buffering in order to really properly execute.
So it sounds to me like it's really a delicate balance between all three of these solutions.
Yeah, and we adjust that dynamically according to connectivity for each individual client in a game, right? So it's not like somebody has a bad connection and then the whole game is ruined.
Right. So the code in Modern Warfare was designed to be as flexible as possible. We really want players to know that we take how Modern Warfare feels in online play very seriously. We've built these multiple layers of systems on top of each other, along with the knobs to sort of tweak them in real time. We're constantly measuring server behavior, client behavior. We're looking into individual players' experiences. We're collecting tons of data. We're doing internal testing. We're doing testing with small populations out in the live environment. And then we're rolling out improvements as the game is live. We did this during the beta, and we'll continue to do it once we hit October 25th and the game goes live. Quick shout out to those of you who participated in the beta. Thank you so much. Your data was super valuable to us. In the end, our goals are simple. We start from a good place, and we make sure that the game feels amazing in low latency situations. Then we build these systems on top of it to make sure that the game is tolerant to network issues, because the internet is the internet and problems will happen. Then we try to isolate issues so that when bad things happen, we don't let it ruin the whole match, and we take the problem to just the problem connection.
Easily solved by dedicated freaking fucking servers.
Let me know what you think of the video, and if you liked it, maybe we'll do more in the future. Thanks again for playing the beta, and we'll see you online when Modern Warfare releases on October 25th.
Bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. Now, let's go to my video now. Okay? So, this is a match. Okay? So, I'm going to start at the second part of that video. It's a 3-match Modern Warfare 2 video. Okay? I'm gonna link it down there so you can see it for yourself, because it's bullshit what Infinity Ward just said. Okay? I have good connection. Should not be dropping frames. Should not be controlling what I'm playing or something else. Okay? So, let's play the third video. Okay? And I'm going to show you the victory screen so you understand that I was playing pretty well. I was playing pretty well. 2 matches in a row at this point. Okay? At this point, you know, I was playing very well. And all of a sudden, it switches. Okay? I'm gonna play. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I was lane prone, but that was me trying to stay away from SBMM, honestly, yeah. You lost. 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 Guy fucking shit on his head. How come you're at the bottom of the floor? Shut up. You lost. You lost.
Yeah.
Ridiculous players. Crazy.
Yeah.
You lost. You lost. You lost. Now that we got that part done, I'm gonna skip a little bit forward, okay? So, give me a second here. Okay, this is the start, right here. That's the next match. Now, pay attention. I'm gonna enlarge it so you see what's going on.
Deathmatch. Right now.
That's not the video, by the way. That's the actual game. That's what he's doing. I'm trying to confuse the SBMM system. I'm gonna go back. I'll just leave it like that. Just leave it like that. I don't know what's going on with my TV or whatever. But we're gonna keep going. How did he know? But I'm playing pretty well at this point. I'll talk about you too if you back there. I unloaded the whole magazine onto him. Didn't even move. Look! Shoot for the toes. My bad. I'll fucking find you too, bitch. You see that? Again, that's not my connection. That's not my video. No, it's not. Again, that's not my video. So much bullshit. See? Fucking hacker.
Threats in the area.
Fuck. Did you see that? See what happened? I don't know what's going on. The alcohol with them is garbage. Either continue playing with us or hacking this channel. This is my assumption. I haven't seen this kind of SBMM in video games in a while. No, I haven't. Fucking bullshit. 5 seconds after my spawn, by the way.
Bullshit.
Again, 5 seconds after my spawn. Seconds.
See, I'm going
You think
with
that's
them, not
fair?
what you're supposed to do. I got you back. Keep going. Fucking hackers, hackers.
This is me calling them out. Because they know that the protected class is the noobs. Either the noobs or the hacker.
Hacker. Cheater.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So what you saw there was bullshittery at the maximum. What you saw there was bullshittery. Okay? So SBMM needs to chill out. Put it into ranked play if you really want to put it in ranked play. It should not be in casual play. The Call of Duty has always been marketed to casuals. There's 100. Last time No. Let me scrap that. Okay, let me scrap that. Let me reset again. Okay, there's 460 million players who bought Call of Duty over the last 20 years. Okay, each year is only 20 to 30 million copies sold of each game itself, each one. Okay? So, when you buy it, you are one number. Okay? So, each game that you buy is 20 million copies out there in the world. Okay? The biggest game in franchise history would be Modern Warfare 2019. 30 million copies sold. Warzone, 70 million. All those people, those are casual players, okay? They are not competitive players. There's some players who are competitive, but segment them out into their rank play. That's the solution a lot of players have. Okay? Number 2, cross-play. I don't want to be in the same lobby as PC players, bro. They have better tick rate. They have better ping. They have better internet. They have better this. They have better that. When you use the mouse pad, look at this. The accuracy is like the smoothness of my phone. Look at that. I'm going like this on purpose. Okay, so when you're moving around, the bullet is gonna use that little dot right there. That's so accurate. You guys have the best controller in the world. You don't need to hack. You don't need to cheat. You don't need to you don't need a protective class system. You don't need SBMM. You don't need EOMM. Okay? Those 3, you guys have the best things. And yet, you cheat, you hack. Modern Warfare, since 2019, has been a noob-friendly game. So, why are you hacking? Why are you cheating? Because in here is ego. In here, you feel like you're the beast. Okay? You feel like you're the best in the world when you're cheating. You're hacking. Hacking. That's a old school talk right there. If you're in the 2000s, yeah. Shout out to you guys. So anyway, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, has always been a casual noob game. Okay? Why is SBMM, EOMM there? Why? It's because Activision wants to make a protected class, like little baby group of people who cheat, hack, buy mods. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that next. Okay, so most hackers are doing whatever, right? Most cheaters are doing whatever, right? There's mods on websites. Okay, there's people who sell accounts. That's number 1. There's people who sell accounts with really high value statistics. Okay, let's put it that way. And then there's marketplaces that sell lobbies. Okay, so all these SBMM lobbies, they help you get into lobbies that are specialized for players who want that lobby. You are losers. Most of you are losers. Okay? That's number 2. That's the next subject I'm going to talk about. Okay? So, now that we got that out of the way, okay? Number 3 problem. Okay? So, Activision owns Infinity Ward. Activision owns Treyarch. Activision owns Sledgehammer, correct? Those 3 developers are the 3 main developers rotating between games, okay? For example, Vanguard is Sledgehammer. Cold War is what do you call it? Cold War is Treyarch. I think I got that correctly. Now, the third one is Modern Warfare Infinity Ward. This year it's Sledgehammer Games. Sledgehammer Games is doing Modern Warfare 3 because they worked on it before. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So, I think this is a little difficult to explain, but I'm gonna try to explain it. So, Cold War, Vanguard, 2 games, okay? Both of those games had development hell, okay? And it's because of a civil war that is going on inside 2 companies. 2 companies only right now, okay? Number 1, Sledgehammer felt like overshadowed by Infinity Ward or something else. Maybe, I think it's Raven Software. Okay, so what I think happened here is that Civil War happened, Sledgehammer Games, if I remember correctly, and Raven Software were fighting with each other, so much so that Vanguard had like 6 months, something like that, to work on the game. It was supposed to be like a different game, maybe Advanced Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 4, if I remember correctly. There was a lot of ideas thrown out there, but in that case, I understand what's going on because of egos. Okay, so there's developers who feel like egotistical to this and that and that. So Activision was acting like a referee and said, "You go over there. You go over there." Okay, so Treyarch was working on Vanguard, okay? Because they had seconds to finish the game, okay? It's like kids fighting over stupid shit, okay? So, this kid over here feels like he has an ego for developing this game, and this guy has a vision for making this game, and then now you have clashes. So Activision went like, go over there, you go over there, okay, fine. So Treyarch had a few months to work on that game, okay, so I get that, okay? They don't have time to deal with this bullshit, so I'm not making excuses, okay? I'm just explaining to you what's going on, okay? So, this even still to this day a big problem, okay? Because I don't know if you noticed this, but Modern Warfare 3 has a lot of problems in the game itself. So much so, they released like a flak jacket perk. Like I forgot what it's called, but that's what it is. So in that flak jacket, you don't need to move around. You're just a camper. So you're staying stationary and you're getting bullets from everybody else. And I don't remember what how it was said, but that's the gist of what I remember it. So that vest, there was a lot of controversy to it because the whole point of the flak jacket is to like be a camper. just like the first Modern Warfare 2019. So, Sledgehammer, they can't get that out of the game. There are rumors that the original concept idea of the perk system is to have pick 10 in Modern Warfare 3. Yes, this game right here. Yes. We were supposed to have like pick 10 some features that are different from what is going on right now. Basically, what we have right now is, when you're using gloves, when you're using boots, and the vest, those are the perks. That's the perk system. So your equipment on your body is correlated as a perk. So if you have a flak jacket, that's your perk. If you have a boot that makes you run faster, that's a perk. If you have a slippery hands perk, that's a perk. So that's the system that we have right now. But it was supposed to be like a pick 10 system. Okay, that's one problem. The other problem is I played beta. This is my article right here. Hands-on with the Call of Duty Modern Warfare open beta. Hands-on with the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 open beta for PS4. The first week that I played the beta, it was hands off. Go play the game. Go play the game. Have fun. I had fun. There's tons of videos on YouTube about my gameplay. It was fine. I was ready to buy the game. But the second week that came around, it's like somebody switched the SBMM EOM system. Somebody did this. So SBMM went up. All the way up. Somebody put it up way high. At this point, Activision was purchased by Microsoft. The completion was done. The week the beta went up. The week that it came up. Okay? So, if I'm Phil Spencer right now, okay? My first job would not be to turn anything down yet. My first job is to fire every single person responsible for the civil war that is going on in Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, and Infinity Ward. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you do. If you sabotaged somebody else from making a great game, which Sledgehammer Games has been trying to do since launch, okay? Let me tell you something. They've been communicating with the community for a while now. They are really good at the transparency right now. The only thing that they are held back by is Infinity Ward's ego. Okay? Your job is not to be a diversity hire. Your job is to sell the game. Give me 1 second here. Your job is to sell this. Okay? Your job is to sell this. Your job is not to say, oh, I like this. I have pronouns him, and her. No. You idiots, out. You idiots, out. You're fired. My company, if that's my company, if I'm Phil Spencer, you are fired like this. Like this. You sabotage somebody else's work, you're fired. What's going on right now is not funny. You're scamming people out of money. That's not funny. What you're doing is not funny. No, it's not funny. It's not fun and games. That's $70 that you're scamming out of people. No! I've been playing Call of Duty since 2007, bro. I don't expect a shitty game for... I don't expect to play a shitty, crappy, fucking SBMM garbage. You understand what I'm saying to you? Blacklist me from your fucking system. Dude, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck, bro. Okay? Go, do that. But that's gonna make you look like a idiot. Okay? All you marketing people at Activision today, trash. Ashton Williams included. Okay? All you all out there, garbage. Okay? Besides Dex Baguette. Dex Baguette is the only person that is trying to do good in that company. Everybody else who's trying to be diversity hires, oh, yo, get the fuck out of the fucking company. Get the fuck out of there. Nobody cares. Okay? We're headed for a recession. So, I've said this before and I'll say this again. We're headed for a gaming crash. And you're part of it. Okay? I don't know how you guys gonna recoup the cost of running Call of Duty right now. I don't know how you're gonna do that. But you guys better get your ass moving. Otherwise, you gotta go fucking lose your job. If I'm Microsoft and I have $1 trillion to spend on Activision, my first duty, my first order of business, clean every fucking loser out of there. No. Y'all need to get your ass moving. You best fucking learn how to do your fucking jobs or get the fuck out of there. Seriously. I love Call of Duty. I always have. And I always will. My only problem is none of y'all gonna do a good job of making that game the greatest game on planet Earth. Okay? That should be your goal. Okay? What I wanted was a arcade shooter. That's it. I don't want tactical, crazy, Battlefield, diversity, higher, crappy. No. Okay? When we say tactical, we don't mean slow-moving first-person shooter. We don't mean slow-moving military shooter. No, we didn't say that. We said tactical gunplay. The whole point that we bought Call of Duty 4 and upwards was to have a great shooter where you can exchange shots back and forth, and having like a maze and this challenge. But SBMM is not challenge. SBMM is trying to segregate two different players on two camps. One camp is the great players. On the other camp is the noobs, the losers, the I don't know how you explain that, but yeah. So, expert players, casuals. Shouldn't be that way. It should be good players, bad players in the same match. Does not matter who you are, what you do. Okay? And then these hackers are not helping. Okay? These hackers, they're not helping. They're screwing everything up. All these cheaters, they're not helping. They're not contributing to the problem that we have right now. So, when you're in SBMM system, those hackers, those cheaters are pulling everybody from here. Okay. Everybody from here, the bottom, to the top. And they're taking the skills with them. But these people but these people down here, what they need to do is get to used to Call of Duty before they get to the mid-range. Okay? But what's happening now is all these noobs, all these casuals on the bottom, they're all the way up here. Shouldn't be like that. That's not funny. Okay? That's not funny. Microsoft, fix it. That's not funny. Not funny. We're not having fun in the game. Our feelings are deflated because of everybody else who wants to play a certain way, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be a casual game where you guys are just... I don't think you guys understand this, okay? The Call of Duty community is not a bunch of competitive players. They are players who get off work, who just wants like 5 minutes of 5 minutes to let steam out, to get their anger out, to release that pent up anger, that dopamine. I don't know what you call it. Whatever you guys think of it. When they come home, they want to play 5 minutes of Call of Duty and enjoy the game. That's it. Okay? So, that's it. So at the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, what happened is all those people who got exhausted of Modern Warfare 2 2022, what happened is they get exhausted at the end of the seasons, and that translates to low player retention on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. There's a lot of problems that Call of Duty has to fix, but those are the major problems that the series faces. Okay? hacking is something that Microsoft have been fighting against for many years. So in my mind, I think we're gonna get that problem solved. So I'm not railing against that thing. But my major issue is crossplay. SBMM/EOMM. And the third one is what was the other one? I forgot. There was a third one. Oh, the civil one. The quality control Call of Duty games. Yeah, the quality control. Those are the three issues that needs to be fixed immediately as soon as Bobby freaking Kotick leaves Activision/Microsoft Gaming. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. So I'll end it here for now, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you for viewing my video, and have a nice day. See you.